Well, a mixed bag of responses tonight after President Biden's latest test here. Just hours ago, he held a news conference closing out the NATO summit. And following that, there were calls from within the president's party for him to step aside in the presidential race. But he also garnered some glowing reviews from other Democrats.
With the eyes of world leaders and the weight of his political future upon him, President Biden closing out the NATO summit with a rare solo press conference.
A would-be aggressor knows if they attack one of us, they'll be attacked by all of us. Sending that message is the best way to deter aggression and prevent wars in the first place.
The president touting support for Ukraine and strengthened alliances with world leaders, though it's impossible to ignore the challenge he faces from domestic allies. The Capitol Hill Democrats calling for him to drop out of the race. Vermont's Peter Welch, the first public Senate defection.
I'm expressing my opinion. Ultimately the president's going to have to make his own decision.
Senior Biden campaign advisors meeting today with Senate Democrats to address their concerns.
Some of my concerns are allayed. Some others have been deepened.
While party leadership is standing by President Biden, the top House Democrat said members are having what he called candid, clear-eyed, and comprehensive family discussions. Those supporting the president increasingly anxious about the turmoil.
I can't walk out my front door without people talking to me about how worried they are about Donald Trump.
President Biden looking to turn the page while sending a message to NATO allies, members of his own party, and the American people. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And now, minutes after the president's speech, WCNC Charlotte spoke with a local political science expert for their take. Winthrop Poli-Sci professor Scott Huffman says while the president fared better than in the debate, he's not convinced all the critics will be silenced.
While he did better, especially in the speech, his health and cognitive decline is going to control the news cycle for the next 2 weeks, like it did for the last 2 weeks.
As the president remains determined to stay in the race, there are still questions about what could happen at the Democratic National Convention in less than a month.
It is possible to, even at the convention, remove Biden from the ticket. There are two ways to remove Biden. One is the loophole of the Democratic National Committee meeting before the convention and changing the rules. The other is the delegates to the Democratic Convention are pledged but not bound for the most part